Honor.
All right. This is CV-2022-01468 in the matter of Dean Kent, Ted Boyd, and Abraham Hamade, and the Republican National Committee plaintiffs versus KRIS Mayes, Katie Hobbs, etc. Defendants. A couple more people entered the waiting room. This is the time set for the return hearing. And if I can find the parties, is Ms. Kench. I see Ms. Kench. Jean Kench is here. Ted Boyd. I don't see Ted Boyd.
No, Your Honor, Ted Boyd was not here. Thank you.
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Right,
Yes,
Ted
I'm
Boyd.
here, Your Honor. Ted Boyd.
Ted Boyd is appearing by Zoom telephone, apparently. That's fine. And Mr. Hamada, are you here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Mohave, Your Honor.
Hamade. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hamade. And then anybody representing the RNC as a representative, not just the attorney. But don't see anybody. Who is here on behalf of the plaintiffs?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Timothy Lasota, and I'm here with Jack and Dennis Willencheck, and I've got Dave Warrington and Gary Lakowski on the line. Their pro hoc vice is pending.
So all of these people are here: Timothy Lasota, Dennis Willencheck, Jack Willencheck, and then the two pro hoc vice attorneys, Mr. Warrington and Mr. Lakowski, are all on the Zoom in some way, shape, or form. Thank you. Is KRIS Mayes here?
No, Your Honor. It's Dan Barr here representing KRIS Mayes, along with Alexis Danneman, Austin Yost, and Samantha Burke.
All right. Show the presence of Mr. Barr, Ms. Danneman, Mr. Yost, and Ms. Burke representing defendant KRIS Mayes. Mr. Barr, you'll be doing the speaking.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I should ask you that, Mr. Lasota, you'll be doing the speaking.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then is Katie Hobbs or an attorney for Katie Hobbs?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Andy Gaona with Coppersmith Brockelman on behalf of Secretary of State Hobbs. In the room with me is Bo Duell with States United Democracy Center, also on behalf of Secretary Hobbs.
And you'll be doing the speaking, Mr. Can you pronounce your name again?
Gaona, Your Honor.
Gaona, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, I will be doing the speaking.
I do know that at least one of the counties that's named in this is represented by Mr. Esplin, who's here in the courtroom. You're representing all the Mohave County part of this case, Mr. Esplin?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And their name is, I guess, as they have to be named in certain cases like this, and they're named in that way only. And is there any representative representing any of the other counties online?
Yes, this is Craig Cameron from Pinal County Attorney's Office, representing the Pinal County Board of Supervisors and County Recorder.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Bill Kirkus with the Yuma County Attorney's Office. I'm here with Jessica Holzer, representing the Yuma County defendants.
And can you say that again? Because I don't see you. You're just on phone.
I'm in Ms. Holzer's office, Your Honor, on her computer.
So
My last name is Kirkus, K-E-R-E-K-E-S.
all right, thank you, Mr. Kirkus.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Joseph LaRue, and with me is Thomas Liddy, Emily Krager, and Karen Hartman-Tejas. We are here for the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors and the Maricopa County Recorder.
Your Honor, this is Jason Moore, Deputy County Attorney. I'm here to represent the Navajo County defendants, the Board of Supervisors, and our County Recorder, Michael Sample.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moore.
Your Honor, my name is Jean Roof. I'm with the Graham County Attorney's Office.
Which
and
county?
I'm Graham County. And I'm here representing the Graham County Board of Supervisors supervisors and the Graham County Recorder, Wendy John.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, this is Colleen Connor and Michael Gordon on behalf of the Yavapai County defendants. And also joining us on the phone is the Yavapai County Recorder, Michelle Burchell.
Thank you, Mr.
Your Honor, this is Jeff Dalton for the Healy County Attorney's Office, representing the Healy County Recorder, and a special appearance for the Healy County Board of Supervisors.
All right, is that everybody?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Jason Mitchell on behalf of the La Paz County Board of Supervisors and the La Paz County Recorder, Richard Garcia.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mitchell. I guess I've had a couple of these before, and the one thing that we're going to be hearing from the main plaintiffs and the main defendants, and that'd be Ms. Hobbs and Ms. Mays. I have received motions to dismiss filed by both of them that we need to address scheduling on, and we do need to address scheduling of this whole thing. This case was obviously filed last Friday. Somebody else running in. The court has attempted to get this on my calendar. I'm in the middle of a 5-day bench trial this week that will not end till Friday. I have another elections challenge case that came in on Monday that I'm trying to get on my calendar before the end of this week. I am physically off next week, although I'm not going anywhere. And so I will be available to have hearings and do hearings, although my staff may be up there crunching their teeth, not happy to hear that. But we're going to try to do the best we can from our perspective to organize having hearings in this matter. I guess, Mr. Lasota, speaking for the plaintiffs, you're the ones that have initiated this. There are some deadlines and some things that need to be done. I have been told, just while I'm in the middle of trial, that there have been more motions and responses filed today, and I've got those now. I haven't had a chance to review them, but I know there are some pending things that we need to address, specifically these 2 motions to dismiss. I don't have answers to them. I guess I would like to set oral arguments on those on Monday morning on my vacation. Is what I would like to do, if that's something that we could get set. And then we can obviously kind of tentatively set any evidentiary hearing that we need to do either that day or some other day right after, if that's what needs to be done. So, Mr. Lasota, I'd like to hear from you on that particular process.
Yes, Your Honor. We did file a response to and it's a consolidated response to the motions to dismiss. And that was just filed just a few minutes before the hearing started, so it may not have come across, but we did file that. The plaintiffs are fine with sort of dealing with that first, because I mean, we know that is the preference of some of the other parties, and we're fine with oral argument on Monday.
So if I set that at 8:30 Monday morning, we could do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
From your perspective, Mr. Barr, Defendant Mays would be available Monday morning, or at least the part you would.
Muted.
Yes, Your Honor, we could have, we would like to do it sooner. I think the matter is brief now. We could supply a short reply, but we would be available to have such an argument on Thursday or Friday.
Well, if I was not in the middle of a trial that I'm not sure they're going to be finished on Friday, based on the status, how we've been going, there's a chance, I guess. And if I didn't already have scheduled a second election challenge return hearing on Friday, I might be able to squeeze it in, but I don't have the time to reserve a couple of hours to argue motions to dismiss. And I do believe, just my reading of the motions to dismiss, and I haven't even seen the response yet, and I haven't really read the whole motion to dismiss from this morning. But I did take one home last night, the first one from Ms. Hobbs, and read it last night. But I haven't seen a response yet. And so my guess is that someone else getting in. My guess is it won't be something I could do in 30 minutes or 40 minutes that I could squeeze in the next 2 days in my trial. And I would like to, but I cannot. So I'm willing to come in on my day off on Monday and do this at 8:30 in the morning, if that works.
Well, then 8:30 works for us, Your Honor.
Mr. Gaona?
Your Honor, Ms. Dool and I have an oral argument before Judge Thompson in another election contest that starts at 9 a.m. on Monday. So that 8:30 time probably would not work on our end. I do know that the court has set a return hearing in that other case for 4:15 on Friday. I just would note for you, Your Honor, that case nothing has been served in that case. So if there's any possibility of moving that return hearing and instead scheduling the oral argument in this case at 4 p.m. on Friday, for example, maybe that would allow the court to accommodate both of those things if that is at all possible. I think an hour of oral argument would be sufficient in this case. And I would just add, Your Honor, the argument before Judge Thompson is, I believe, set for 2 hours. So it's from 9 to 11.
I'm thinking through your option there, Mr. Gaona, whether I could do that or not. I don't have that other file in front of me, or I guess I could look it up to see what's been served and what hasn't. I do believe it's when I read it, it's certainly some different issues that may not be able to fit under this type of format that we're doing here. But the point being, I'm not sure. I guess if they're out there serving people now, they would have to reserve them. I've already picked that date. Maybe then I could set these oral arguments for 1:30 on Monday afternoon in this case. If one of the parties, and which is and obviously the Secretary of State is one of the main parties in this case, does have a right to have their attorney present, and I would like to get that. Is 1:30 work, Mr. Lasota?
Your Honor, we have a mental health hearing at 1 o'clock that day. I don't know if we. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong.
You can send another attorney. I don't have it in my case.
Yeah, we do. It's Judge.
Yeah, because they're covering for me next week because I'm not here.
That's right. Okay.
So he's talking about my normal caseload, but I'm not doing that case. So I'll do this case at 1:30. Mr. Lasota, does that work for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gaona?
That's fine, Your Honor. If we can't make the Friday option work, then that works for us.
I will look into that today, but I don't think it's a good idea for me to do that as I'm sitting here. Mr. Barr, 1:30 on Monday?
1:30 will work for us, Your Honor.
And all the other defendants, I apologize for not asking you individually. These are the people that motions to dismiss have been filed, and I'm going to try to work with their calendars and schedules a little more than yours. You hopefully can appear and you can listen, and if there's any input necessary or needed, you can maybe file something in writing, and I would know that in advance, and those kind of things if you wanted to, and maybe that if you want to file anything in writing, do so immediately so that any reply can be filed. It is ordered setting the pending motions to dismiss for oral argument on Monday, December 19th, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. That's Monday, December 19th, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. The parties can appear by Zoom. Obviously, you're always welcome to appear in the courtroom, but you can appear by Zoom if you want to argue that way. Mr. Gaona is going to be in the court in the morning in some other jurisdictions, so getting here in the afternoon when we're in the northwest portion of the county would be difficult. So obviously, this will work if that's how that happens. Having said that, we also have a motion, kind of a trying to find it. There was the motion or the petition to inspect ballots and a motion to expedite discovery filed by the plaintiffs. Does that need to be heard either today or before Monday, Mr. Lasota? I haven't read all the documents, and that's one of my issues here.
Your Honor, we've not replied. We only received the objections today. So we would like to reply. Maybe we could add that on Monday if you feel that oral argument's necessary on those petitions. It's possible that that in our reply, we might be able to, and I don't really want to make a commitment, but I can make a commitment to try that we might be able to perhaps suggest a smaller sample, a smaller universe of documents we're seeking.
All right, well, what I will do then, I will tentatively put that motion on the same calendar as Monday afternoon at 1:30. But if I review your reply and have a chance before Monday afternoon to, and in my mind, make a decision without oral argument, I will do so.
Your Honor, may I be heard on that? This is Joe LaRue from Maricopa County.
Sure, Mr. LaRue.
Your Honor, Mr. Lasota's motions both concern documents in the custody and control of the Maricopa County defendants. We would like to be heard on this, and what I would propose is that we would, if Your Honor will allow it, we would file response briefs to both of those motions no later than 5 p.m. tomorrow.
That's good. Yeah, I won't make a decision before 5 p.m. tomorrow, and then you allow Mr. Lasota to file a reply by sometime Friday?
Whatever Your Honor wants is fine with us.
Yeah, Mr. Lasota, I could tell you noon on Friday. If the sooner you get it to me, the sooner I'll have it. So it is ordered that Maricopa County can file a response to those petitions by, and anybody else too, by the way, if you want to file a response, and file a response to the petition to inspect ballots and the motion to expedite discovery by no later than Thursday. I forgot what day of the week it is. Thursday, December 15th, 2022 at 5 p.m. And any replies due on Friday, December 16th. And I'll make it 2 p.m. The court will look at the file after 2 p.m. I think I'll be busy most of the day before that and after that. But bottom line is, if I can make a ruling on the pleadings, I will. If not, it is now scheduled for oral argument on Monday as well. Are there any other pending motions that I'm missing, Mr. Lasota?
Your Honor, there's a motion I filed. We filed the affidavit of service and regarding Ms. Mays, and it did have some sensitive information that Mr. Barr objected to, or asked that I file a motion to seal. So there's that. That's kind of a housekeeping measure, but I know it's important to the contestee, so I just wanted to mention that.
Mr. Barr, do you want to address that? Which motion that is?
Well, Your Honor, it's a motion to seal the affidavit of service contained her home address. And so we would like that sealed and for a redacted version to be filed with the court.
All right, and I don't have any objection to that. It is ordered granting the motion to seal the affidavit that includes anybody's home address and a redacted version to be filed with the court without the home address in it. All right. There is also, I saw a motion to substitute new notice of acceptances of service and affidavits. I don't think anybody will have any problem with that motion, so we'll grant that motion as well. Any other motion, Mr. Lasota?
Your Honor, beyond the petitions for to inspect the ballots and the motions for expedited discovery, I think that's it.
All right, and I'm going to talk more scheduling issues in a moment, but Mr. Barr, any your party on any other pending motions that I'm missing?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gaona?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is Joe LaRue again for the Maricopa County.
Thank you, Mr.
One additional housekeeping matter. As Your Honor is aware, there have been some motions to dismiss filed. Mr. Lasota, on behalf of his client, has already responded to that motion to dismiss, which, you know, he had every right to do. We had intended to file a joinder with the Secretary of State's motion to dismiss, and we would like the court's permission to do so. We're not certain that we can do that without leave of court now.
Because the response has been filed?
That's right, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. LaRue. Mr. Lasota, any objection to allowing the county, Maricopa County, to join?
No, Your Honor. I just, hopefully my response stands for that joinder as well.
I think it does. I know it does, but your response will affect that. But Mr. LaRue, if you need to argue on Monday, you'll let me know. But
Your Honor, the only thing that we would argue on Monday is the two petitions to inspect ballots and expedited discovery, if the court wants to hear argument on that. But we will not argue anything on the motion to dismiss.
all right, so I guess the other question that I was going to ask the main parties again is we have deadlines to make decisions in these cases. This is affecting every county in the state of Arizona. There's parties involved that have to get things done if any of these motions are granted or not. We're now having this oral argument on the motions to dismiss, that if those are granted, that would eliminate some of the need for, or all of the need for some of these things to be done. And if they're not granted or granted in part, as is a possibility, we need to get moving on what happens next. And I'm wondering, from a scheduling perspective, especially when we're having an argument on Monday that includes discovery issues, from a scheduling perspective, when would we be available to do evidentiary hearings? I'd already mapped out a couple of all days the week after Christmas, but I don't know whether we'd be ready to do something late next week if that's possible. Mr. Lasota, do you want to be heard on that?
Well, Your Honor, you could start the hearing on as late as the 27th, I think, within the statutory framework, because it says 10 days and it can be extended another 5 days. I think that would put it on the 24th, but since the 24th through the 26th are Saturday, Sunday holiday, 27th would be available as the date to that I think would comply with the statute to begin any evidentiary hearing.
All right, Mr. Gaona, you want to be heard on that?
Yes, Your Honor, I disagree that the 27th is an acceptable date to start the hearing. The statute says that the hearing must occur within 10 days of the date of the filing of the petition, and that it can be extended. The hearing date could be extended for 5 days for good cause shown. As a practical matter, that date actually should be this Monday, because in this context, the courts have held that the reference to 10 days means 10 calendar days, not 10 business days. So the secretary would suggest that to the extent an evidentiary hearing is required in this case, this court should set it for Friday, the 23rd, for 1 day, and that way it can be done, and the court will then have its time under the statute to write a decision as it's required to by the statute.
All right, thank you. Mr. Barr, do you agree or disagree with that?
Yes, Your Honor, I agree with Mr. Gaona regarding that. I mean, it's the plaintiffs are the ones that chose to file when they did. And, I think at this point, the 23rd is the very last date where we could have such a hearing.
All right, it was kind of funny in the motion to dismiss, they're arguing that they filed it dilatory or a few days later than they should have. Mr. Lasota, your position on that?
Your Honor, I have no problem with starting it on December 23rd. We can try to wrap up in 1 day, but I would like the potential held open until the 27th, because regardless, and I obviously disagree with what Mr. Gaona and Mr. Barr said. And I think the Supreme Court decided that issue, that if the last day falls on a Saturday, it goes to the next business day. But regardless, if the hearing does start the 23rd, I think everybody would agree it could conclude on the 27th and still be compliant with the statute.
All right, so I guess that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tentatively set a hearing beginning on Friday, December 23rd, 2022. My wife won't like this, but that's not Friday, December 23rd, 2022 at 9 a.m. And we'll just reserve the rest of the day. I know I have a calendar on Monday, December 27th, already scheduled to be in, but we'll move things around. If we need to go into Monday, we'll keep going on Monday. And we'll move those things around. Hopefully we'll know that by midday on Friday. More people trying to get in.
Your Honor, with respect to the hearing dates, again, to the extent they're necessary, given that we have counties and folks that are here, and we have 2 other election contests that are pending in Maricopa County alone, to say nothing of the other one before this court, are the parties able to appear by video conference for the hearings themselves?
Again, yes. I hope that's clear. All these hearings can be done. You're always welcome to be here. I know when I did the hearing in the summer on that case, everybody showed up, and we had maybe one person didn't. One of the main attorneys didn't. But we can do a bifurcated work. I have a great IT person helping me out. We're airing this over YouTube, if people can watch it if they want. So we'll do all that. And the answer to your question is yes. We'll make that work. And certainly the counties that have a more nominal interest, there is no reason for them to drive up from Douglas, and I've had to make the drive over to a football game over in the Navajo County. It's a long drive. So, all right. So we'll do that. So let's kind of summarize what we've done here. We've set the motions for oral argument on Monday, beginning at 1:30. Parties may appear by Zoom. That includes the 2 motions to dismiss, one filed by Miss Mays, Miss Mays, and the other filed by the Secretary of State, Ms. Hobbs. We have set the petition and the petition to inspect ballots and the motion to expedite discovery for that day as well, filed by the plaintiffs, and we'll save those for after the motions to dismiss. I will go out of my way to read anything that gets filed over this weekend. I am actually going to a football game in Las Vegas on Saturday, but I'll make my son drive and I'll read on the way back. So anyway, we'll do all that and make sure that we're ready to go on Monday afternoon at 1:30. Is there anything else today, Mr. Lasota?
Not from the plaintiff's Honor.
And I guess I didn't add as a part of my summary, we have tentatively scheduled an evidentiary hearing on Friday, December 23rd, which I always refer to as Christmas Eve. So we have scheduled that hearing for 8:30 if necessary. Anything else, Mr. Barr?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Gaona?
No, Your Honor, I just want to stress the timing aspects here, particularly now that we're bleeding the schedule over into the week after Christmas, which is that the transition of power for this office is supposed to occur on January 2nd. And I hope we're moving towards that goal, and it seems like we are, but I just want to make sure that all the parties in the court are aware that is the constitutional deadline for when the new term of a new attorney general should begin.
Well, I can assure you, we wouldn't even be having this hearing today if I wasn't well aware of that. That's understood. Anybody else have anything else?
Your Honor, this is Jason Moore from Navajo County. I would just ask the question, is it necessary that the counties with a more nominal interest in this matter appear for the hearing, or may we be excused?
I have no problem if you don't appear for the hearing, Mr. Moore.
All right, thank you.
You're served and they know what's going on, and they'll have to respond if something happens. But all right, that's a good question, and that goes for all of you that are serving in a more nominal role, but you're also all welcome to appear as well. All right, anything else? We're hanging up. Have a good evening.